Good morning. In our last class, we studied various security issues in IoT environment. So we studied a brief history of operational technology securities, various security incidents that has happened in the past, the common challenges in providing OT security, and how it is different from the infrastructure security, and few of the operational protocols like Modbus, ICCP, OPC, uh, and other protocols we had discussed in the last class. So today we shall see uh, the two formal risk analysis structures, Octave and FAIR. So these two are the risk assessment frameworks. So Octave, so it is operationally critical threat, asset and vulnerability evaluation. So it is developed by Software Engineering Institute at Carnegie Mellon University. So this particular framework has many stages. In each stage, um, security related activities will be performed. So in another framework, that is FAIR. So it is factor analysis of information risk. So it is developed by the open group. So we shall study these frameworks. So Octave, since its development, so it has undergone multiple iterations. So we shall study the Al Allergo version of the Octave, which is very lightweight and less burdensome to implement. So this particular version is assumed to be very robust, and it is not on standby or immediately at the ready, but it provides a comprehensive security review of the operating environment. So this particular framework is based on the assumption that it is quite appropriate given that many operational technology areas are similarly lacking uh, in security focused on human assets. So there are 8 steps in this Octave framework version of providing the risk analysis. In the first stage, that is establish drivers, then profiling of assets, identify the threats, then identify and mitigate the risk. So these are the 4 phases in which the process will happen. Further, in each phase, there are certain amount of steps that will be taken up. So in establishing drivers, uh, here the risk measurement criteria is established. In the second stage of profiling assets, so asset profile will be developed and then the information asset container will be built. In the third phase, so areas concerning the threats will be identified along with their scenarios. In the last phase, so that is identify and mitigate risk. So the risks are identified, analyzed and mitigated. So it includes 3 processes. So if we describe the first phase in detail, so for each operational technology, so one must establish what is the criteria for measuring the risk, because various events will be happening in the operational environment. So if anything goes wrong for the very first time, So it cannot be perceived as a threat to the operational environment, because it may happen once, but thereafter it may get rectified. So the frequency at which the events occur should also be considered while categorizing any incident as a security threat. So here in Octave, so it provides a very simple means of doing this with emphasis on what is the impact, what is the value of that particular scenario, and some way to measure it. So the point of having a risk measurement criterion is that at any point in later stages, priorities can be changed. Again, as the reference models. So here in this stage, so one will identify uh, what scenarios to be considered as a risk and how to measure it. In the second stage, so it is developing a information asset profile. So for each asset that is there in the operational technology, so its profile will be developed. So the profile will be populated for each asset based on their priority, attributes that are associated with each asset. So an asset can be anything from a large machine to a small network switch comes under assets. For each one of them, the custodian will be identified. Custodian is a person who is responsible for handling that particular device. And what is the security requirement of that asset and what technology is used. So all those things will be documented, and that is called as a asset profile. Then within the asset profile, there are multiple sub stages so that complete the definition of assets. So there will be some attributes so that are based on the judgments. One such attribute is the prioritization. So how to prioritize the asset? So how to identify which is the critical component and which is not? So such judgment has to be taken by giving the ranking or justification for the priority can be done. So with an understanding of the attributes of the assets, so particularly the technical components present in it, so the threat mitigation method appropriate to that particular asset can be applied. So within the application of risk assessment, the level of security investment can also be aligned with an individual asset. So for each asset, if it has to be secured, there has to be substantial investment from the security perspective. So one has to consider the investment that is required to secure an asset also in the asset profile. So once the assets are profiled, so the next step would be to identify the information asset containers. So here the containers for the asset will be identified. So this is the range of transports and the possible location where the information about an asset is present. So this contains the elements and the network by which an asset communicate. So however, so this container can also mean the physical manifestations such as the hard copy documents or even the people or a person who has the information about the asset. So all those things can be included as the asset container. If a person is knowing the information about particular asset, then he is a information asset container. Or if the information is present in the paper document, that hard copy itself will become the container. Or if the information that is there is there for an asset, if it is present in any system, that itself will become the container. So container is nothing but a any physical manifestation that is holding the information about the asset. So once the containers are identified, the next step would be to identify the areas of concern. So how the data flow or the attribute focus should happen within the container. So here the judgment has to be made. So who can access, and mapping of security related attributes to business use cases should also be done. So at this stage, so analysts will look to the risk profiles that are been previously mentioned in the risk analysis document. So once the area of concern is identified, so then the threat scenarios has to be looked into. So this is the fifth step. So the threats are broadly identified as an undesirable event that will occur. So this definition means from that the accidental causes, whether they are also should be perceived as a threat or not, should also be identified in threat scenarios. So in the context of operations, this is a highly valuable thing in identifying the scenarios where threat may occur. So at this point, so one must be able to explicitly identify the actor, the motive, and the outcome of any threat scenario. So in the sixth step, so the risks has to be identified. So within the Octave framework, so the risk is what is the possible undesirable outcome in any incident. So if any outcome it is not desired or it is not expected from the system, so that can be perceived as a risk. So again, once the risk is identified, so one must evaluate how the organization will be impacted based on this risk. If some machinery is not working properly due to a risk or a security attack, what is the impact on the organization? Will the machine ceases to work, or the entire organization gets halted due to this? So all those things has to be documented in the impact analysis. So the more focused and localized analysis about the potential impact of the organization could also be extended outside the boundaries of the operation. So what if a boiler fails and bursts? Definitely it is going to affect the environment that is outside the organization also. So that may take the life of the people who are residing in that area. So all those things should be analyzed, which means how this risk impacts the people or the environment that is outside to the operating environment. So next, so once the risks are identified, then qualitative evaluation and the impact should be measured. Then analysis of risk, the risk measurement criteria has to be defined, and then that has to be brought into the process of risk analysis. Then in the eighth step, that is a mitigation approach. So mitigation is applied. So there are three outputs or decision that has to be taken in this particular stage. One, maybe to accept the risk and do nothing about it, other than documenting the situation and the potential outcome and the reason for accepting the risk. So few situations will occur. Maybe the impact will be very, very low in the operating environment. Then that particular risk can be documented. Maybe that situation may have occurred uh, by malfunctioning of a device or from insider employee doing a mischievous thing. So all those things whose impact is nothing, so that can just be documented and do nothing about the OT technology. The second action that can be taken is the mitigate the risk and with whatever control effect that is required. So mitigating means sending this particular scenario to appropriate security analysts who will analyze the entire scenario and will identify what has went wrong, and by walking back through the threat scenarios to asset profiles, then going to compensate or the control to mitigate those threats, and the risk pairing should be discoverable and implemented. So that can be done. So mitigating means where the problem has occurred, that can be identified and rectified. So the final possible action may be to defer a decision. So which means the risk is neither accepted nor mitigated. So this may imply further research or activity that is required in the risk analysis. So three actions can be taken. One is accept the risk, do nothing, then mitigate the risk, and the last one is to defer the decision. So these are the 8 steps that are there in Octave risk analysis structures. So the next similar related risk analysis structure is FAIR, that is factor analysis and information risk. So it is a technical standard for risk definition from a open group. So here the measurable and quantifiable metrics are applied, which are key areas of emphasis in the world of operational environment, and with the richness of the data that is present. So one can apply this particular risk analysis framework. So like Octave, so this particular framework allows for non-malicious actors as a potential cause of harm, but it is still elaborative in emphasizing the non-malicious actors compared to Octave. So Octave and FAIR, this places the emphasis on both unambiguous definition and idea that a risk and the associated attributes are measurable. So these measurable and quantifiable metrics are the key areas in which one can express how one should react in an operational world for a risk when we have large set of operational data to analyze and identify the risk. So at the base of FAIR, so one must also include the probable frequency and the magnitude of the loss. So if you compare with Octave, so in Octave the frequency was missing, which means how many times a security incident is happening and the time interval between each risk scenario is not considered. But in FAIR framework, the frequency at which which means the how many times the incident is happening and what is the magnitude of the loss that may occur uh, to the organization is defined in the risk analysis framework. So loss event frequency is the result of threat agent acting on an asset with a resulting loss to the organization. So this happens with a given frequency. So for each incident, so threat event frequency, that is TEF, is defined. So if a specified number of times, if the security risk has occurred, then that will be treated as a potential threat. Otherwise, it is not categorized as a risk. So within a window, how many times the event will occur will be recorded. Maybe if the same incident is happening maybe 5 times in a week, then that can be categorized as a threat. And if anything happens maybe 3 or 4 times, that the organization may ignore such incidents and may not treat it as a risk also. So for that purpose, this threshold is defined, that is threat event frequency. So there are many multiple sub attributes so that are defined based on this frequency of events. So all of them will be a measurable metric. So threat event frequencies are applied to vulnerability. So here, if any situation is occurring more than this threshold value, then it will be treated as a vulnerability. So here, the vulnerability doesn't necessarily mean that there is a weakness in the computing assets, but it is the probability that the targeted asset may fail as a result of the actions that is being performed. Whether the system will fail or not, so that is decided based on this threat event frequencies. So the other side of this risk taxonomy, so few other terms are also used, that is probable loss magnitude. So this begins to identify the quantity of impact that will happen based on a risk. For a less risk, what is the magnitude of loss that may happen to organization? So that is also a measurable metric. So in FAIR framework, so all the risk related factors, scenarios, situations, everything should be measurable. So there are 6 forms of loss. So FAIR has defined them. So 4 of them are externally focused and 2 are internal. So that is internal to the operational environment, and 4 are outside the organization. So of a particular value for operational teams, that is the productivity and how to replace the loss. So a response loss is one other factor. So it is reasonably measured with the fine and judgment, easy to measure but difficult to, these are difficult to predict. Response loss. Finally, competitive advantage and reputation. So that has occurred due to the security threat is also measured. So what is the advantage that the competitors will get due to this security breach or the threat is also measured in the FAIR framework. So along with that, the damage that may happen to the reputation of the organization is also measured. So these are the externally focused losses in the risk analysis framework. So these are the two risk analysis